Welcome to ETS Laboratories. We're very, very happy to have the opportunity to give an update about where we stand with our collaborative project involving Napa Valley grape growers and wildfire smoke impact. The wildfire impact problems are a very real, continuing problem for the wine industry worldwide. Obviously, we need tools to measure. Without tools to measure, we can't take steps to move forward. In order to interpret data when we do measure from grapes or from wines, we need to build a database. And the better that database is, by better, I mean the more representative of the varieties and the regions, then the better the interpretation will be. So we've engaged in a very, very productive collaboration with Napa Valley grape growers, sponsored by the USDA, to help build this database of background levels to make the data meaningful. Now, we can ask for samples, have them come into the lab, and our clients can use that data as a tool to help make harvest decisions, production decisions, or even marketing decisions down the road.
The smoke markers we've been measuring since 2008 are guaiacol and 4-methyl guaiacol. When vegetation burns, it gives up small molecules called volatile phenols that give its odor to smoke. And we can measure that in grapes, and depending on how much there is a lower or higher risk of smoke characters to show up in wine. Since 2021, we've been measuring more volatile phenols. There's 8 of them, and also bound compound or glycosylated compound. So when grapes are exposed to volatile phenols, to smoke, they tend to bind the phenols to a variety of sugars, and we measure the main bound forms that have been identified so far. The beauty of just the 2 main compounds, the 2 main markers, guaiacol and 4-methyl guaiacol, is that with the exception of Syrah and sometimes Pinot Noir, normally you have negative results on our reports. So the interpretation is very easy. With the additional markers, in most cases there is low levels but reportable levels on the grape samples. So the question is not anymore, are the smoke markers present or not, but how much is too much? We needed to analyze hundreds of samples, different grape varieties, different AVAs. We have now more than 1,100 samples. The baseline database now is very solid, but we don't pretend that it is applicable to every situation, every vineyard. There's some grape varieties for which we have less samples than we would like. What we recommend is to send us berry samples, 200 to 300 loose berries, undamaged as much as possible. Basically, that's what you would send for grape maturity samples, something representative of a block of a vineyard or a whole vineyard. Don't mix grape varieties, because you can have different intake on different baseline levels by variety. There are 2 risks: false positive and false negative interpretations. False positive interpretation, you are at risk to reject grapes that are perfectly good. False negative interpretation, the risk is to end up with wines with smoke characters and the associated loss of income that can be quite obvious when it happens. So if you have your own data for your own vineyards, your own grapes, you have a better chance of fine-tuning the interpretation of your results. The collaboration with Napa Valley grape growers has been great. we appreciate the effort to reach out to their members so that we get samples to build this database. So it's a success story, and we hope that we can keep working on this project for a few more years.